Hi, my name is Anshu and welcome to my channel Bottleneck. This is the Scala Design Pattern series. In our previous video, we had discussed how we can use multiple configs along with the multiple class. Every class will work as an independent application after extending the universal name, and every config will extend app.arg config, which will have a field called app name. Every config constructor will override this app name to have their own app name. This app name will be used to run each and individual app, say it could be car or truck. You will see this in action. This implementation will be done in multiple videos to keep them in a given time boundary. Alright, saying that I have created multiple packages: car app, config trade, truck app, and universal trade. So we will start with the config trade. We will create the app arc, car config, and truck config. Alright, so let's begin. So let's create the app arc. It's going to be a trade. Let's add it here. It will have a field defined, so it is going to be val name that will be of type string and given a value as empty. Now this car app will have a case class as car config. Alright, so it is going to be a case class. Let's add it to our kit and it will extends the app arc. Okay. Now this will hold, this will override, because every time the app name is going to change. And let's give a default value as empty. Now we add another field for a constructor to make it look different. Alright, so this is, we created a case class car config that will be our command line argument. So here now we have to pass this argument. So let's create an object car config. Okay. Now we need to write a parser so that we can import everything. We can read everything from the command line. So we import from this scope everything. Now let's create the parser. So the parser will be of type option parser of type car config. It will return a car config. Sorry, it will return a option parser of type car config. Option parser of type car config. Okay, let's give this a name. Let's make it car config. Alright, we will use head. This head will be used to do a pattern match on which config it is, and accordingly it will be parsed. Okay, then we pass the values. So first one is a string, that is the app name. So it's going to be app name, and we need to keep these values constant because app name will be used everywhere. So it would be better if we create a variable and use it, but that is to do. So let's pass the higher order function c.copy. Alright, so what we are going to copy, the app name as x. Same thing we do with the cost, but it is of type int. Alright, and here it is going to be cost. The variable name is cost action, and again x comma c. Here it is going to be c.copy, and we have cost equals to x. Alright, so this way now we have created a parser and we have created a case class. Same thing we need to do with the truck config. Alright, so let's go here and create a Scala class truck config. Okay, it's going to be a case class. Again, it is going to extend app arc. Okay, so here again we are going to override. Of type string, and it will have a default value. Here we will give age as another constructor parameter, another field with a default value. Now again we need to define the parser. So object truck config, before this we need to import everything from Scoped. Alright, now in this struct config, now same thing what we did earlier, we have to do val parser, which will be option parser of type struct config. Now this struct config, again we are creating new option parser of type struct config. Same thing, we will give a name here, that is struct config. Sorry, it's going to be slow. Alright, and we provide a head. Slow. Now struct config. Alright. Very soon I will show you what is the use case of this head, why we are defining a head here, and how it will help us to pass the value. Same thing we are doing here, app name. So whatever name we are providing here, this is how we are going to pass the command line values, and then action, and then here we are going to write x comma c. Again c dot copy app name is equal to x. Same thing, opt, and we have int, and what we are going to pass here, the age. So it's going to be age, then required, oh sorry, required, you can add required if you want, I am keeping it optional, and action. So there are other fields that you can define based on your use case. This is just a demo. Alright, so it is going to be c dot copy, and it is going to be cost, sorry, cost, age, sorry, my bad, age is equal to x. Okay, so now we have defined the truck config and we have defined the car config. Now the question is how this app arg will know which config to pass. There will be args, which is basically array of string. So how it will know? So in array of string, as we have used the head method for passing, so we are going to pattern match on head to get which config to pass. Alright, so let's implement here as object app arg. Alright, now in this app arg we will define a method for parsing. So def passing args. Okay, now this def passing arg, what it is going to take, it's going to take args. What is an arg? Array of string, array of string. Alright, and what it is going to return, it's going to return an option of app arg. Why it is going to return an option? So there is a possibility that it could not match to anything. You have provided some random command line argument which is not matching to anything, so it has to result or give something to throw an exception, otherwise the application is going to fail. Alright, so we are going to do a head option, because you can, there's a possibility a person can provide an empty command line, so head option will return none if there is nothing, and if there is something then we have, now we need flat map. Now what will happen if we use flat map? It will give us the flatten a case class directly. If not, it will return a sequence. Now if we are using map, it will return sequence. Okay, so now we do the case. What was this? Car config. If we remember, this was the head that we provided. Okay, and next case is the truck config. We need to be careful with the names. Alright, so what we can do is we can create a value here, val, this we can say truck config is equal to truck config, and we can use this value everywhere. Alright, and we can replace this as well. So this way we can make sure that it is constant. Same thing we can do in here. So if the spelling is correct, let's do it here. In the car config is equal to car config. Alright, and we will use this wherever we have car config. This way we can make sure it is constant throughout the application. Same thing we can do with others as well, like app name and cost, but I will leave it to you. Alright, now let's import both of them in this app arc. So let's import car config. Alright, this is car config. Let's import everything. Okay, now not underscore, dot underscore. Same thing we have to do with truck config. Control C. Okay, right. Truck config. Okay, truck config has a different hierarchy in my mind. So it is going to be a truck app dot truck config. Alright, so now we have them. Now we are going to use them in pattern match. Okay, now watch closely. If I use car config, okay, see, if I am using car config like this, it may not give me a pattern match. So how we can do it? We have to use a tick symbol. Now this will be evaluated to this string. Now there are ways where you can write, or we will improvise this further, where we can have this implicit conversion from a type to a value, but that is for some other day. As of now we will be doing this. Now we will be using truck config. Alright, so now the struct config is also evaluated. Now we need to write the logic here, that once we have this, what should we do next. Now the last but not the least is, if we have anything else other than these two config, then it should return a null. Alright, so now it makes it sense. Now it's an option. Now what we need to do once we have the car config. So let's implement car config. We already did a parser, so we have a parser. Then we already know that on parser we have a pass, because we defined an option parser. Option parser is a method called pass. Here already args is an array, so we know that the first value is correctly done. Now we do argtail and we provide the empty value for car config. In case, because it has to pass, so this will give this schema basically how to pass it. Now if this doesn't suffice the requirement, if the argtail doesn't have all the values what is required for car config, it is going to break. Same thing we can do for truck config. Alright, so this is truck config dot parse, dot parser dot parse, and then args dot tail, and then we will be passing the value truck config. Okay, now this way this parsing of args will return an option of arg, where we will have car config and truck config based on the head of the entire command line run. So this completes the implementation of the app arc trait along with the config. In the next video we will see how we can implement the universal main, and we will follow up and we will complete the further activities to complete this design. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and watch out for the next video. Thank you.